Weekly summary from the Presidency of the Libyan government. The joint Libyan mission from the General Authority of Endowments and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation continued its activities in the Republic of Uganda. This tips under the supervision of the Prime Minister of the Libyan government, Dr. Osama Hamad, with the aim of the Libya contributing, performing Taraweeh prayers and giving religious lessons in several mosques in African countries, including Uganda. The Prime Minister of the Libyan government, Dr. Osama Hamad, along with Ministers of Interior, Defense Communications, the head of the Reconstruction Committee, the head of Endowments Authority, and group of members of the House of Representatives, as well as security leaders from various agencies, and the families of martyrs of the Criminal Investigation Department participated in collective iftar and the annual gathering during Ramadan of members of Criminal Investigation Department, and honored the family of martyrs in the department, where they were received by the head of the department, Major General Salah Hawidi. Prime Minister Dr. Osama Hamad praised the dignity of revolution in a speech honoring the families of martyrs in the Criminal Investigation Department, stating, "I recall the early days of the dignity revolution, where the entire people, military and security forces, rallied around the leader of the dignity revolution, Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar, expressing profound gratitude to the Commander-in-Chief and the armed forces for their efforts and sacrifices towards our country in establishing the foundations of security, prosperity, and completely eliminating terrorist organizations." The Prime Minister urged members of the Criminal Investigation Department, as well as other departments of the Ministry of Interior and the Armed Forces, to exert more effort and vigilance in carrying out their duties in protecting lives and properties, and to deal firmly with anyone who dare to attack public and private interests. Prime Minister of the Libyan government, Dr. Osama Hamad, accompanied by the Minister of Health, Dr. Athman Abdijalil, and the Deputy Minister of Interior, Brigadier General Faraj Gain, conducting inspection visit to Benghazi Medical Center to review the progress of work at the center. They were received by the Director General of the center, Dr. Fathiya Al-Aribi, and the Director of Medical Affairs and General Supervisor for Localization internally, Dr. Swaykar Bouzaid. During the visit, the Prime Minister was briefed on the work of the visiting Egyptian team, led by consultant spinal surgeon Dr. Hussam Salah, who performed a number of surgical operations to correct spinal curvature. After successfully completing 60 precise surgical operations to correct spinal curvature in various regions of Libya, targeting 70 medical cases as part of the Libyan government's plan to localization treatment domestically. During his visit to Benghazi Medical Center, Prime Minister Dr. Osama Hamad issued instructions to increase the targeted number of spinal surgery cases to 170 cases from all cities and regions, emphasizing that the localization of treatment domestically is one of the top priorities of the Libyan government. The Ministry of Health has succeeded so far in performing 250 kernel transplant surgeries in Benghazi, Beidash, Dabia, and Tobruk, as well as 600 cases for retainal treatment. The Prime Minister praised the work of visiting team from the Arab Republic of Egypt and the national medical teams in conducting these precise surgical operations, commending the skilled and highly competent national medical team for their training and experience in surgical procedures. The Institute of Diplomatic Studies, affiliated with the Libyan Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, organized an international preparatory seminar in Tangier, Morocco, from March 28th to the 30th of 2024, in collaboration with the Mediterranean Migration and Refugee Agency. The seminar focused on the Mediterranean migration, its challenges and opportunities, with participation of academics, politicians, human rights activists, and civil society representatives from Spain, France, Italy, Belgium, Germany, Senegal, Morocco, Tunisia, and Libya. This seminar aimed to prepare for the first African-Europe Conference on Migration scheduled to take place in Benghazi at the end of May 2024. In his opening speech, Dr. Abdelhadi Rahwej, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, emphasized the measures taken by the Libyan government under the leadership of Dr. Osama Hamad and the efforts made to address migration issues and provide assistance to migrants from Africa and sub-Saharan regions. Officials from the Libyan Joint Mission Program between the Prime Minister's Office of the Libyan Government, the General Authority of Endowments and the Islamic Affairs, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation have begun organizing Ramadan iftar tables in the sisterly country of nature. This step is part of the task of the Libyan Mission for scholars, reciters, and preachers to lead the Taraweeh prayers and deliver lessons and sermons, and organize iftar tables at the capital Republic of Niger, Niamey. The Prime Minister, accompanied by the head of the General Authority for Endowments and Islamic Affairs and the Minister of Interior and his deputy, as well as the Ministers of Labor and Rehabilitation, Maritime Wealth, and the head of the Criminal Investigation Department, participated in the events of the Benghazi competition for memorizing the Holy Quran, prophetic traditions, and the young Mu'adhin and preachers, organized by the Office of Endowments and Islamic Affairs of Benghazi. The Prime Minister honored the participants in the competition who are the holders of the Book of Allah and memorizers of the prophetic tradition for their great efforts in caring for religious knowledge, and their excellence in local and international competitions. He awarded financial rewards to the winners of the first place in Quran and prophetic tradition competitions. He also provided substantial financial rewards and gifts to the three of memorizers of the Quran participated in international competitions in the UAE, Iraq, and Egypt. Additionally, the Prime Minister awarded a financial reward to an African brother who embraced Islam on this blessed night on this main stage of the competition, amidst the welcome and happiness of the attendants for the blessing upon him by Allah Almighty. Commissioner Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Dr. Abdul Hadi Al-Houij, opened proceeding of the International Conference on Migration in the City of Tangier, Kingdom of Morocco, under the theme Challenge and Opportunities. The conference includes various interactive sessions attended by experts, researchers, policymakers, and migration workers from European Union countries, African countries, and the Moroccan press. The Commissioner Minister delivered his speech on behalf of the Libyan government, expressing gratitude to the Kingdom of Morocco, its king, government, and people for hosting the conference. He emphasized that the necessity of finding a new approach to migration issues centered around Africa. He also stressed the importance of cooperation and partnership instead of dominance and colonialism, highlighting the Mediterranean as a space of peace, coexistence, and love rather than a sea of death and destruction. Mr. Sami Al-Dawi, the Minister of Local Governance, issued a directive address to the head of municipal and administrative councils of municipalities, urging them to coordinate with a labor survey and aerial imaging company when undertaking or contracting any surveying work, conducting survey length measurements, or executing aerial imaging operations required by public projects, or contracting for the use of a national graphic database to produce modern maps for any purpose. The directive emphasized the prohibition of contracting for the supply and use of survey equipment and devices classified as having security sensitivity, such as surveying drones and surveying devices supporting GNSS, RTK, PBK technologies, without prior coordination with the mentioned company, within the framework of coordination with the General Command of the Libyan Armed Forces in particular. The Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energies of the Libyan government clarified the following disturbance in the electric network in the region and the outages of number of generation units in the western region, leading to the activation of the first and second defensive stage and the interruption of electricity to the eastern region. The Regional Control Management 220 kV in the eastern region and the control of the medium voltage in Benghazi were promptly directed by the Minister of Electricity and Renewable Energy, Dr. Awad al-Badri, to quickly restore electricity and return the loads of the second defensive stage. It was emphasized to restore the remaining loads and coordinate it with the General Control Management in the coming hours. The company assigned by the Ministry of Water Resources of the Libyan government, in collaboration with the Water Sanitation Company, has commenced the implementation of modern drinking water network project, spanning 3,800 meters in the Shwayrak area, to provide potable water as part of the Libyan government's plan to enhance the level of service provided to citizens in various Libyan cities and regions. Under direct supervision of the Minister of Water Resources, Mr. Mohammed Doma, expertise and specialized equipment have been provided to ensure the project executed with the highest level of efficiency and addresses the technical issues that may affect the quality of the distributed water. The Minister of Interior, Major General Hissam Bouzerib, met with the Director of Security at the Saad border crossing, Major General Abdeslam Lamin, at his office at the Ministry headquarters. The meeting agenda included discussion on the operation of the crossing, emphasizing the need to activate the movement of truck entry and exit, along with their drivers, and coordination at this process with the relevant authorities responsible for the entry of foreign trucks. Additionally, the mechanism for supporting the deportation unit at the crossing was discussed, and ensuring necessary resources are provided to achieve maximum efficiency with the aim of enhancing its capabilities and improving its operational mechanism. The meeting also addressed coordination with the Criminal Investigation Department regarding the status of the wanted individuals and those apprehended within the system. The head of the General Authority of Endowments and Islamic Affairs, Mr. Ataf Al-Abidi, and the Commander of Ground Forces Operations, Major General Saddam Khalifa Haftar, honored Sheikh Abdul Hadi Hussein, who achieved first place in Tanzania International Quran Award, and Sheikh Naji Atiyah, who achieved second place in the Dubai International Award. The Commander of Ground Forces Operations, Major General Saddam Khalifa Haftar, presented to each one of them financial prize of 100,000 Libyan dinars and a car. This recognition and celebration were testament to the commitment of the General Command of the Libyan Armed Forces and the Libyan government to encourage and motivate Quran memorizers, thanking them for representing Libya state with excellence. Dr. Athman Abdul the Minister of Health, met with the Director General of the National Center for Health System Development, Dr. Miftah Atwailu, to discuss the practical steps to achieve the National Center for Health System Development in accordance with the Ministers of Health Decision number 104 for the year 2024. During the meeting, discussions were held regarding the organizational and the administrative structure of the center and all its needs. Additionally, preparations related to the launch of center operations were discussed, including both facilities required for the center's headquarters and administrative preparations. Engineer Bilqasem Khalifa Haftar, the Director General of the Libyan Development and Reconstruction Fund, signed with Slahatar Oghlu Construction Group, one of the leading Turkish companies specialized in general contracting equipment and infrastructure, to start its works in several projects in the city of Benghazi. These projects include the maintenance and completion of the Central Library of Benghazi University, the maintenance and development of sewage treatment plants, and the maintenance and cleaning of Lake 23rd July to achieve one of the Sustainable Development Goals in Benghazi and ensure clean beaches free of pollutions. Engineer Abdullah Sharif Al-Humma, Minister of Labor and Rehabilitation, attended on Tuesday evening in the Egyptian capital Cairo the graduation ceremony of job seeker dispatched by the Ministry of Labor and Rehabilitation of the Libyan government for the cybersecurity course conducted by CLS Learning Solutions in the Egyptian capital Cairo. The celebration held at the Ambassador Hotel in the Egyptian capital was attended by the Minister of Investment, Mr. Ali Saidi, a group of diplomats, company experts, department managers at the ministry, and the families of graduates. The Minister of Labor and Rehabilitation explained that these courses were conducted based on the directives of the Prime Minister Dr. Osama Hamad and the instructions of the Commander-in-Chief of the Libyan Armed Forces, Field Marshal Khalifa Haftar, to employ and train, qualify young people in various professions and specialties that would create real job opportunities for them. The supervisor of the Ministry of Justice Printing Press received the periodic batch of operation materials and papers with the various specifications. This tip is part of the strategic plan devised by Minister of Justice in the Libyan government, Councillor Khalid Masoud, aimed at maintaining the journal stack level of the Courts and Prosecution Office needs for paper publications. The joint Libyan mission from the General Authority of Endowments and Islamic Affairs and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Libyan government continue its assigned task entrusted to by the Prime Minister of the Libyan government, Dr. Osama Hamad. These tasks include leading Taraweeh prayers, delivering ceremonies and educational lessons in several mosques, and organizing charitable communal iftar meals. The mission prepared a communal iftar meal at the National Mosque in the Uganda capital, attended by mosque goers, members of the organizing committee from Uganda side, large number of students of knowledge from the mosque, and Islamic community residing in the country. The Ministry of Youth had several Ramadan tournaments in the areas of Al-Hilal Nafti and Nawagiya area south of Benghazi, and the Hurricane Martyrs League under the slogan Darna in Our Hearts in the city of Darna. The Blindful Five-Side Football Champions in the municipality of Targan, the Lawrence Football Champions of Veterans, Seniors and Juniors in Murzig bin Baya municipality, the Darna Murders League in the municipality of Tabarak, the Martyrs of Dignity League for joiners at the Hilal Nafti branch and the Youth Office in Zwitina Sultan, and the Martyrs Ali Thaman League in the city of Al-Maraj, and in other cities including Sabha Tazurbu, Al-Bintan, and Al-Magroon areas west of Benghazi. These activities are based on the decision of the Minister of Youth and the Libyan government, Mr. Mahdi Shaib, decision number 19 for the year 2024, regarding the formation of monitoring committee for sports activities and programs held at the branches and youth offices during the holy month. Prime Minister of the Libyan government, Dr. Osama Hamad, directed a letter to the Ministry of Education of the Libyan government, Dr. Jamal Jadid, affirming the invalidity of decision number 346 for the year 2024. Issued by the outgoing government's Minister of Education. He emphasized that the system which this decision seek to implement lacked the necessary components for its scientific and practical success and was made without prior study to determine its feasibility in the current situation. The Prime Minister pointed out that the full-day schooling system requires students to be presented in schools in both morning and afternoon sessions, which contradicts the current infrastructure of educational institutions. He warned all education inspectors in all municipalities without exception against coming to such flawed decisions, affirming that legal and administrative measures will be taken against any violations of these instructions.